Fawaz Gerges, he's a professor of international relations at London School of Economics, joining us now from London. Professor, it's really good to speak to you on a topic and a country that is quite complicated, as we've pointed out there, but it's certainly escalated in recent days with the UAE pulling out of Yemen, saying its forces are gone. But now we still see the UAE-backed STC saying, as we've heard from our correspondent there, that they're closer to their goal of a separatist state in Yemen. What do you make of this situation and the reasons behind it?
Well, it's a very alarming crisis, extremely serious. What we have seen in the past few days is that a serious rift has developed between Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates. What we are seeing in Yemen is a proxy war between Saudi Arabia that supports the internationally recognized state and the United Arab Emirates that supports STC. On the other hand, you have the Houthi government in Sana'a that basically is supported by Iran. Regardless of what happens in the next few days, what we have seen, the escalating proxy war between Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates has major implications for the unity of Yemen. Could easily see the fragmentation, the further fragmentation of Yemen. As you suggested, you have now three potential states. You have a northern state controlled by the Houthis, you have a southern part of Yemen controlled by STC, and you have the international recognized government that controls some parts of central Yemen. How are you going to really glue the three separate parts of Yemen? And secondly, I think very, very importantly, this particular proxy war between Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates has major implications for the efficacy of the Gulf Cooperation Council. The new rift between Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates is as dangerous as the rift like the Qatari crisis in 2017. So all in all, this is really bad news. There are no winners. I think there are only losers in this crisis.
But why is there now this rift? Because when we look at the timing of it, we see it, of course, after 2 years of a genocide in Gaza. We see it after that 12-day war between Israel and Iran. We see it after Israel has just recognized Somaliland, the protests in Iran, the ongoing war in Sudan. Surely this is all linked.
Well, I mean, it could be. As we say in the Middle East, everything is interconnected. You cannot really separate the various parts in the Middle East. But for your own audience, the current crisis has been simmering since 2019. Because in 2019, the United Arab Emirates decided to pull out its forces from Yemen because the United Arab Emirates and Saudi Arabia were part of the same coalition that declared war on the Houthi group that basically seized Sana'a in 2014, 2015. So what we have now is that Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, they were best friends and best allies. Now they have basically become bitter rivals. And not only because Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates have differing interests in Yemen, but also differing interests in Sudan, differing interests on oil policy in OPEC, differing interest also on trade and economic policies. So not only this particular proxy war between Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates has direct implications for the unity of Yemen and the Gulf Cooperation Council, it affects international trade. I mean, Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates have major, massive sovereign funds, and they are two close allies of the United States. And that's why on Tuesday, Marco Rubio, the American Secretary of State, spent the entire morning talking to the foreign ministers of Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates because the two states are close allies of the United States.
Professor, what does this then also mean for regional security? Because for the last few years, we've seen this war in Gaza. It has spilled over undeniably to other parts of the Middle East. Now, as you say, we have this proxy war between what were once two allies. Surely this can't be good for security overall.
Not at all. In fact, and that's why I believe there are only losers. And mainly the Arab world is the major losers. Whether you're talking about Yemen or the effectiveness of the Gulf Cooperation Council or relations among the Gulf states or the Palestinians. If you ask me which is the main winner, I would say Israel, because Israel really wants fragmentation, because Israel wants the Arab world to be divided, polarized. And Israel wants basically fragmentation because it's waging a multi-front wars, whether you're talking about Gaza, the West Bank, Lebanon, or even Syria. So sadly and tragically for the Arab world, instead of unity, we're talking about fragmentation. So it's not just about regional security. It's about the idea of solidarity and the ability of the Arab world to present a solid front vis-a-vis the international community and Israel. And the fact that Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates, two of the most influential Gulf states, are waging a proxy war tells me that we might see really further escalation in the region that does not really serve the interest of either regional states or even the people in the region.
Yeah, the people usually are the most affected by these situations. Professor Gerges in London, good to speak to you. Thank you.